ELSA was born out of necessity, but people face so many challenges in this world, but you chose to focus on language proficiency. Why is that?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me today. I built ELSA about 5 years ago out of my personal challenges. I was born and raised in Vietnam, and it's just like any other non-native English speaker growing up, we spent so much money and time learning English. But as I moved abroad, especially when I was in the States for my master education at Stanford, I realized that a lot of years of me learning English make me really good at reading and writing, and I'm perfect at a lot of English test scores, and I probably know more English grammars than an average Americans. But when it comes to speaking English, people had a really hard time understanding me in classroom, in the social setting, and there's no real solutions that really address that challenges. So as I graduated from Stanford, the challenges still follow me throughout my careers as a management consultant, and I decided that there's some big challenge that facing 1 billion language learners out there that really needs a solution, and that's why I decided to build ELSA using voice recognition technology to really help language learners around the world improve this particular speaking challenge.
So ELSA helped you find your voice. Give us a sense of the impact it's had so far.
Yeah, so far it has been, the project has been launched for about 5 years now. We have been helping more than 13 million users around the world improving their English. And the big impact that we have been able to provide our learners is, making people feel more confident, because when people spoke English and they're afraid, people won't understand them, keep asking them to repeat. People will withdraw and lost that confidence. And as we interview our users using our solution, people feel a lot more confident. They're pursuing different opportunities that require English. And on average, English speakers who speak much better English will earn a 30% more income. And in a country like Vietnam, they can easily earn 2 times, 3 times as much, right? And so that's the big impact that we want to make sure that everybody can have their full potential reach and pursuing different opportunities in life that they can potentially change their lives in the future.
And Vu, you've always been fascinated by AI. In fact, I read that you used to spend hours speaking to Siri before going to bed. I'm just wondering, how do you address the misconception that women are not interested in STEM?
It's a perception that as a new generation, we are working hard to change, right? Because growing up is more about women interested in more lifestyle business, but there's nothing to stop us from pursuing much bigger, bolder ideas, and AI is one big part of it. When I started out not being a technical person, a lot of people say, but you know nothing about AI. How are you going to address that? I think that what it takes is that, do you have the right passion? Do you have that resilience? Do you have that determination? And then everything else will follow, right? For me, it's all about knowing enough about this space and interested enough to learn, and then finding all of the experts around you to then help you build this company. You're not alone, but I'm super excited about what AI can do to change the world. And as you mentioned, right, me and my husband, we just listen to Siri, talk to them to figure it out how smart they get over time and how they do it. We get Siri to talk to Alexa to see who's getting smarter. So it's just that personal interest really helped me pursue this passion in an area that I'm not an expert in, but be able to persuade all of the other experts to join hand as well.
So give us a sense of how this app, ELSA, actually works.
Yeah, so what we do is we started out 5 years ago. We built this proprietary voice recognition technology. We don't use a third-party API like Alexa and Siri and Google, because we want to make sure that our AI can understand non-native accents very well. So then once we build this AI, what it does is that it's a mobile application. You open it, you speak to it, and then we listen to everything you say. We then highlight exactly the mistakes that you made at the individual sound level, what sound you mispronounced. Do you speak too fast? Do you have the right intonation? Do you have the right fluency, the right rhythm? And then we give you very specific instruction like, hey, you got to move your tongue in a different position. You got to move your lips. You got to emphasize in different places. And at the end, what we want is make sure that your speech is clear, and then people had an easier time understanding you. And you can practice any phrase, any sentence, any long conversation, basically anything in English that you want, and then we'll be able to use our AI to listen to you and then figure out the mistakes that you made and give you the instruction to fix those mistakes.
So give us an idea of when you were setting up this this company, I suppose, ultimately, the fact that you were a woman, was that an impediment? And if it was, how did it manifest itself?
You know, being a female entrepreneur, or just being an entrepreneur in general, has a lot of challenges. And the challenges faced with female entrepreneurs are not going to go away. But growing up, working in different male-dominant environment, I usually want to look into me being a female. Instead of seeing it as a disadvantage, I usually try to look into what are the advantages at me being a female entrepreneur that has been given to me. And to be very honest, in the last 5 years, being a female entrepreneur, I see quite a bit of advantages that I can leverage in that one to help me out throughout the journey and not playing too much into the disadvantages, because again, I'm not a male entrepreneur, so it's very hard for me to know the challenges that male entrepreneurs will be facing, but I at least can leverage the advantages that I have as a female entrepreneur.
Vu, prior to becoming an entrepreneur, you were in the shipping industry, then in consultancy. It does seem like you've always chosen sectors which are male-dominated. Is that intentional?
You know, I chose the industry that I find a lot of passion in, and it happens to be a male-dominated. And it's a little unfortunate and unfair that a lot of the exciting industry that are more number-driven, that's a little bit more cutthroat, is then turned out to be a male-dominated industry. I don't think that I chose to go in just because it's male-dominated industry, but it just happens to be. Same for startup, right? I think I would definitely wish to see more female entrepreneurs, but it's just an environment where more male people are being given the fair opportunities, and it just made it a little harder for female to pursue the opportunities.